outage in Murray, Kentucky forced that conference game here to Nashville. The Panthers won that game by 7, and now they look to extend their winning streak here tonight. Darren George tosses the ball in the air. 7th all-time meeting between these two teams. Belmont won the first 3, Northern Iowa the last 3. So here we are, game 7. Who has the edge between Northern Iowa and Belmont? Brigham Rogers with the offensive rebound inside. Second look from outside goes down for Carter Witt.
Yeah, you saw the defense by Weisbrod on Lundblade's initial attempt, but Brigham Rogers, one of the top offensive rebounders in the Missouri Valley, kept the play alive.
Starting lineups brought to you by RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. Northern Iowa with Trey Campbell, Ben Schweiger, Tytan Anderson, Jacob Hudson, and Max Weisbrod making his 7th straight start. And already you see the effort to get it inside and an opportunity for 2 free throws for Jacob Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson had a really interesting game, just 1 for 7 against Murray here on Monday. It's been largely kind of an all-conference caliber year for the big man, the Loyola Chicago transfer. So an concerted effort from Northern Iowa to get him going. You're going to see a lot of pin downs, a lot of curls, a lot of wing ball screens to get Anderson and Hudson going to the basket.
Hudson 1 for 2 at the line. He won 2 Valley titles at Loyola to start his career, looking to help the Panthers get back on top as well. The Belmont starters tonight: Witt, Pierre, Walker, Rogers, and Tyler Lundblade, the hottest shooter in the country, one of just 5 players of the last 20 years to make 30 or more threes in a 4-game span. That time it's Lundblade off the bounce. You don't see that very often.
No, for sure.
It's been red hot from outside as well for Northern Iowa. He's wearing number 4 in black. Schweiger backs off with Rogers on him. Now he attacks and had his shot blocked by Rogers. Isaiah Walker driving baseline, and that will be a goaltend.
Ooh, unfortunate for Tytan Anderson, because it looked like initially good defense by Campbell, and I don't know if Isaiah Walker's shot was going to go in, but it clearly did hit the backboard. That's often one of those where an official's discretion could say, hey, it was just coming short, and Anderson tried to secure the rebound. So difficult there for Northern Iowa.
Perhaps a break early going for Belmont. The Bruins have made their last 3 shots that have an early 7-1 lead. Hudson back again. Spins through a double team and threw it away.
Again, you got the defensive versatility of Rogers and Pierre. Rogers defending Anderson that position, so you've got the 6'9", almost a wing Pierre defending the big man Hudson on the block. Did a good job one-on-one, and when the dig came, a little bit of an errant pass across the lane.
Saw Casey Alexander there in his 6th season at Belmont. As Jonathan Pierre buries the 3 from the wing. What a start for Belmont, up by 9 early.
Very purposeful start. Engaged on both ends, balls moving.
Lob down low, good defense from behind, and Walker knocks it out of bounds for Belmont.
So much of what Northern Iowa does, Stu, it's great job by our crew to get the Pierre 3. He's just been right around 38 to 40 all year from 3-point range, the Memphis transfer. But again, Northern Iowa, they love kind of old school high-low actions featuring Anderson and Hudson.
Anderson with the skip pass. Down to 5 to shoot for Campbell. He launches a 3 and hits. Trey Campbell, who's now made 18 of his last 28 3-point shots, 47% for the season, gets Northern Iowa's first bucket. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Witt off the bounce, senior point guard, dumps it off for Rogers.
That's what Belmont needed more of in the first meeting on New Year's Day. Paint touches and Witt finding Rogers in scoring position in the restricted area.
8-point lead here for Belmont early. Campbell able to keep his dribble. Has the mismatch with Rogers on it. Pull up along the baseline. And the rebound knocked out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Belmont.
Again, cross match that you alluded to after Lundblade fell down, Steve, but really Brigham Rogers and Drew Sharnowski off the bench, two of the more versatile post defenders in the Missouri Valley, able to guard 1 through 5 when needed.
Good inbounds to Hudson, missed the layup, got it back, missed again. Belmont has been strong with the interior defense so far. Witt with the pull-up, and that goes 6 straight makes for the Bruins.
Yeah, again, drop coverage and ball screen. Really, Northern Iowa doesn't like to ambush that or switch. They really do drop coverage with Hudson, and you got the floater from Witt.
Carter Witt, the transfer from Furman, had a near triple-double in the first meeting, a 76-70 Northern Iowa win New Year's night. The miss for Weisbrod. Walker cut off along the baseline by Hudson. Witt with Campbell on it. Back to Walker. He goes straight down the lane, had it thrown away by Tytan Campbell. Great block, and then in transition, Schweiger lost it out of bounds.
Boy, great hit-ahead pass by Northern Iowa, but just unable to complete the pass. Schweiger would have had an easy 2.
What a start for Belmont. The Bruins shooting 75% from the field. Jonathan Pierre and Belmont up by 10 early.
To get the right car, you've got to drive Reichert. Drive Reichert, drive.
Drive a new Equinox EV starting at just $138 a month. Reichert Chevrolet, right off I-270 in Dublin.
We're dealing.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm. Easy to grip and massage, and the power of 2 max strength pain relievers. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm.
From Pixar comes an all-new original series.
Everyone is chasing the feeling of a win.
Hey, Lori. You're famous.
But if someone wins,
You're not funny.
somebody has to lose.
What did I just do?
One story.
No matter what happens, you are all winners.
Told from 8 sides.
We'll make it work.
We always do.
Better not blow it.
Disney Pixar's Win or Lose. Now available only on Disney+.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Whoa!
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union. And Greg, you gotta love the start. Being physical by Belmont and getting the ball into the paint for a torrid start offensively.
Yeah, Carter Witt is getting paint touches for the Bruins, for himself and for Rogers on the roll. He got a couple early makes from behind the arc. But the defensive connectedness for Belmont really forcing Hudson into some uncomfortable positions. And then the last one on a run out, just the inability for Schweiger to gather. So kind of a dream start for the Bruins because they got down early on New Year's Day at Northern Iowa, where, as you know, Steve, we did the game together there on radio. Northern Iowa, 5 baskets in the paint in the first media timeout.
Panthers just 1 of 6 from the field so far here tonight on a snowy night in Nashville. Both these teams looking for win number 19 on the season, try to take a step closer to Drake at the top of the conference. And Jonathan Pierre is feeling it early on, his second 3, and it's a 13-point game.
There you just see Pierre's versatility.
Good catch underneath by Anderson, and that's going to be goaltending on the other end.
There was what we described earlier, high-low with Hudson as the passer. And Tytan Anderson just does such an outstanding job of clearing space, scoring up over Peebles and a clear goaltend, but you like Pierre's activity from the weak side.
A very active crowd here on a night that has been very cold, very snowy in downtown Nashville. Belmont back home after a couple games on the road last week. Witz comes up short from outside. Long rebound into the arms of Campbell. Right to Anderson. He tries to spin on Pierre, a little too strong off the window.
Yeah, Belmont has different defensive coverages depending on which block Anderson catches it on. And you can see how Weisbrod is all up in Lundblade's business. No room.
An inside touch for Pierre. The turnaround is good.
Pierre is an expressive player. He's going to let you know how he's feeling.
Leads the team in scoring at 14 points per game. Got 7 games of 20 or more so far this season. He's got 8 in the first 6 minutes. Schweiger along the baseline. Skip pass for Anderson. Off the bounce, inside, and finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, that's a situation where Pierre has to have a little bit more of an under-control closeout. Anderson, not known as a three-point shooter, can't give up the baseline drive. That's his preference. Such a great finisher, too.
Anderson at 18 in the first meeting. Peebles underneath for Charnowski. Blew the layup, but got it back and cleaned it all up.
And that's what Charnowski will give you, Steve. All-out effort. He actually had 4 block shots in the first meeting.
Charnowski, very athletic, big man as you see. Back in the rotation after missing 7 games due to an illness here in the winter months, but he got limited time the other night in Belmont's win at Southern Illinois, and Casey Alexander thrilled to have him back.
Yeah, again, if you're Pierre, great start offensively. You just have to be ready in a stance, ready for Anderson to drive, concede a mid-range pull-up jumper, but that's not Anderson's game, and clearly the hand check foul on the drive.
First foul on Jonathan Pierre, who will take a breather as Aiden Noyes checks into the game for the first time. That goes into the backcourt.
Oh, Hornseth walked.
A travel by Hornseth.
He didn't realize.
In the backcourt. That's exactly right. He had the opportunity to go into the backcourt and corral that, which he did, but he thought it was a turnover, and he took steps inadvertently.
Yeah, because he didn't gain possession, it just tipped off of his fingers. He could have regathered in the backcourt. So for the young forward, I guess a little bit of a teachable moment, but a tough break for Northern Iowa.
It's already the 3rd turnover by the Panthers here tonight. This is a team that is normally very sure-handed.
Very good.
Peebles launches a 3, and that rattles home.
Yeah, he was honored along with Pierre before the game for going over 1,000 points, and boy, Peebles was gigantic in that win Saturday at Southern Illinois.
Yeah, Peebles, a co-captain, electric scorer off the bench with 50 career double-figure games, and there you see Hornseth inside with the lay-in and a quick timeout from Ben Jacobson.
Yeah, it was interesting. He elected to call the timeout after a make as opposed to after the Peebles score. But that was a great diagonal pass. Yeah, great diagonal pass by Polk up over the top to Hornseth. And we were talking off air, Steve, how Hornseth recruited both by Northern Iowa and Belmont. Just one of the best freshman years we've seen in the Missouri Valley. Maybe he's not going to score 15 or 20, but you're getting that 6 to 8 and a high field goal percentage every game and really sturdy defense and rebounding. Nice player.
He has played in all 27 games, 3 double-figure games, but he's been very solid for Ben Jacobson so far. Jacobson, of course, the dean of Missouri Valley coaches, 372 wins in his 19 seasons, is the all-time conference wins leader in conference games only, 4 regular season titles, 4 tournament titles during his tenure in Cedar Falls. But right now it is Casey Alexander's Belmont Bruins with a 14-point lead here early. Isaiah Walker, tough shot off the side of the backboard, and Cale Schmidt comes away with it.
Yeah, Belmont loves that dribble weave, handoff. They run it for years for Ben Shepherd. That time just a tough angle.
Ball taken away by Noyes. Another turnover by Northern Iowa. Peebles. Sharnowski trying to hold on to it. Bit of a discombobulated possession here as the shot clock reaches 10. Peebles off the bounce, tried to finish with the left hand and does.
Such an awkward delivery because the defender was there, and against the grain, Peebles comes back with the left. He's got a lot of crafty deliveries, what you might expect from a senior.
Peebles with 4 straight double-figure games off the bench for this Belmont team. A corner 3 will not go for Polk. Offensive rebound Hornseth, and they will reset. Or Campbell will shoot a 3. He misses. And the rebound grabbed by Belmont. Peebles again. Oh, you can tell he's feeling it when he's taking that shot that quick into the possession.
Yeah, looked good in the air, just a little bit short.
Campbell over to Schweiger. Short on the 3. And Walker skies for the board. Wholesale substitutions waiting at the scores table for the next whistle. There's Lundblade. We've seen a lot of that lately.
Tough shot. You got the trail going up above that action. He's feeling pressure from his left, and he's squaring in midair and writing it down. Great shot, Lundblade.
88th 3 of the season for Tyler Lundblade. Hornseth inside, goes right at Shardowski and draws the foul.
I think that's more of where Ben Jacobson wants Northern Iowa. Paint touches, high roll, high low, feed it in there to Hudson, Anderson, and Hornseth, and slow this game down because Belmont is on a little bit of a heater right now with its tempo.
Jonathan Pierre feeling good. Doing a little bit of talking with Belmont up by 19.
This is ludicrous.
Ludicrous. All right, who called for ludicrous?
Sorry,
we went, this is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't tell ludicrous what's ludicrous. Ludicrous tells you what's ludicrous.
Okay.
Oh, that is ludicrous. You don't need me for this. Hang on. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Good thing you have State Farm. Just file a claim on the app or call us.
Guess I can go.
Don't you mean roll out?
No, I don't.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Someday.
Someday. We all have things we hope to do someday. With great deposit rates from Ascend, we're here to help make your someday soon. Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union. Back in Nashville, Belmont just picking up where it left off. The Bruins trailed by 13 at the half at Southern Illinois on Saturday night, Greg Sage. They started the second half of that game with a 24-6 run, scored 48 points in all in the second half to win by 5. And so far here tonight, it has been 67% from the floor and a 29-10 lead over Northern Iowa.
I think it just all starts defensively, Steve, already. 11-0 in points off of turnovers. Really active with the secondary help. Physicality, making passing and catching difficult. And even that time when Hornseth earns a trip to the line, Sharnowski's right there making the shot difficult.
Hornseth short on the first free throw. A well-put-together freshman from De Pere, Wisconsin. 6'8", 230 pounds. He's actually on pace right now to set the single season record from the field. Unfortunately, he has not been a particularly great free throw shooter at less than 60%. Missed both there. Witt back into the game. Great pass underneath for Pierre, who takes it from all the way underneath, outside, and misses the long jumper.
Boy, that was a great action, weak side for Belmont. It was strange that Pierre didn't catch it and try to power up. He must have sensed somebody at the rim, and he pirouetted and backpedaled for a three. A really good ball movement, player movement, and again, off of that dribble handoff, getting Carter Witt a touch.
Hudson checks back in for Northern Iowa as Hornseth goes to the bench. Weisbrod, hounded by Rogers, gets it off to Anderson. Hudson at the top of the key with 5 to shoot. Anderson goes baseline, powers up and draws the foul.
Yeah, late in the clock, you can't concede the baseline spin to Anderson. Always, seemingly with most lefties, Steve, they're going to come back to that left hand, and you had a good job. Rogers coming down. Noyes just can't concede the baseline like that. But again, Anderson's so athletic and really good with that spin move. And boy, Steve Lehman, has he frequented 15 feet away the last 2 years.
This season, 171 trips to the line. He also gets a lot of rebounds. He got another one on the tip out. So a chance for more on this possession for the Panthers. Trailing early on the road. Schweiger off to Schmidt. Good look, and he buries the three.
Yeah, Carter Witt gambled for a steal. Great job picking up the dribble and kicking it weak side. That's what Schmidt can do, the Division III transfer.
Yeah, a great career at Coe College. Injured early in the season, came available in conference play, and he's been a big addition as Rogers drives for 2 on the other end.
He started in conference to show more of his ability to put it on the deck and make a play scoring. And again, Hudson, more of a post defender, not comfortable defending out on the perimeter. You can see how Belmont staying connected, switching a lot of action.
Right wing three,
wow.
And the roll goes for Schweiger. The iron and backboard kind on that release. So it's back to a 14-point game, and now Rogers throws it into the Northern Iowa bench. First turnover of the night by Belmont.
Yeah, difficult sequence there. Schweiger's shot was short. Almost thought it hit part of the shot clock, but it literally hit the top of the backboard. And then that's just ball reversal, and one person zigged and the other zagged.
Schmidt looking down low for Hudson, gets the double team, and he goes up. Good defense underneath. Schweiger got it back. And a little flurry here from Northern Iowa, back to a 12-point game.
Yeah, just digging out some loose balls. That was good defense. Schmidt tries to get a wing denial steal. Great initial defense by Rogers on Hudson, but Schweiger dug it out. Belmont's got to stabilize a bit. You think about that play where Carter Witt gambled for a steal and Schmidt hit the three. Then you get a three off the top of the backboard. So a stretch of some fortuitous bounces for Northern Iowa, but they're making a little of their own breaks right now. That time it was Schweiger, who had such a great game in here on Monday.
Sarnowski's pass deflected, but Pierre able to go get it. He's had the hot start from the field, guarded by Schweiger, gets inside, acrobatic layup, no, but Walker tracks down the offensive rebound. Now Witt loses it, it's on the floor, and Schmidt comes away with it. 2 quick turnovers by Belmont. Anderson with a double team, someone's open. It's Weisbrod from the top of the key, missed on the three. Hudson gets the board. Second chance opportunity, it's Schmidt for three, that won't go. And Lundblade finally clears for Belmont. Up ahead, Walker in transition for the two-hand slam.
I guess it was a timeout.
A timeout taken by Belmont, okay. I believe, out of the timeout there, or off the bucket. It's Carter Witt Up ahead, great vision, and the delivery to Isaiah Walker for the jam.
To get the right car, you gotta drive Riker. Drive Riker, drive.
Drive a new Equinox EV starting at just $138 a month. Riker Chevrolet, right off I-270 in Dublin.
We're dealing.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on tasty berries frozen at peak ripeness, ready whenever you need them. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Four Nations Face Off on ESPN and ABC.
Arch Madness tips off March 6th through the 9th in St. Louis, and the Missouri Valley Conference Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is the best place to celebrate before and after games. Visit the NBC Fan Hangout to enjoy Ballpark Village restaurants, entertainment, and everything Arch Madness. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangout. Well, Belmont is the #1 offense in the Missouri Valley Conference at more than 81 points per game. And that has been on display here in the first 12 minutes and change. Belmont shooting 64% from the floor with 33 points already and up 14 on Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Belmont's defensive activity early carried them to the lead. They just have to continue to be quick to the basketball because during this recent stretch, Northern Iowa has pursued it really well.
Hudson with the low post touch. He goes over the top of Rogers. They both tumble to the floor. And Darren George has the blocking foul against the Belmont big man, Brigham Rogers. Take another look.
Yeah, I mean, Hudson initiated a lot of the contact, and Rogers was outside of the restricted area. Those are difficult. At one point, I almost thought maybe it was going to be a walk on Hudson.
Inbounds to Hudson up top. The transfer from Loyola Chicago. Campbell into the corner. The three on the way and good for Max Weisbrod.
Yeah, he struggled with his shot in here Monday night against Murray State, Steve, but he's really had a nice conference season.
He did hit 4 big free throws at the end of that game as Witt answers off the glass on the other end.
Yeah, great aggressive drive. Campbell did a good job of standing him up, but Carter is an outstanding finisher and got it off glass right there.
Schweiger off the bounce, turnaround, got the roll. That's a good move by Ben Schweiger, who also started his career at Loyola. He was an all-rookie performer in the A-10 a couple years ago. Didn't play as much last year. Came to Northern Iowa and has rejuvenated his career. High lob, too high to handle for Drew Sharnowski. Anderson without numbers. Back to Schweiger. Air ball. Offensive rebound for Hudson, though. Had to take it away. Walker. 2 on 3 the other way. It's blocked by Anderson. Panthers with a chance to get it to single digits. Schweiger somehow got it over to Weisbrod, who knocks down another triple.
It seemed to go through Sharnowski's legs on that pass cross court. So now it's Northern Iowa starting to heat up from three-point distance, and what was 19 is now 8.
Yeah, it's a 17-6 run by the Panthers to get this game back to single digits. Witt with the pull-up. Benny buries it.
Yeah, that's fine if you're Northern Iowa. They usually force tough twos. Carter Witt is obliged with 2 straight, but Belmont is not getting the open threes, and they're not getting the shots at the rim.
9 first-half points for Witt. He's averaging 13 for the season. The lob backdoor, and Tytan Anderson's there to throw it down.
Yeah, great design against the zone. They had that zone screened really well, and then the diagonal lob over the top to Anderson.
Now for the first time tonight, a little noise from the Northern Iowa section far side. Witt draws the foul as he put it off the glass, and I think that'll be 2 shots for the Belmont point guard.
It was a late whistle. Everybody thought Brigham's tip-in was good, but it was a foul on it, and Campbell. Just miscommunication on the baseline. Sharnowski got screened up, but tremendous timing on the pass. And, boy, if you throw it up there, Tytan Anderson's a good option to go get it.
This will be the first free throw attempt of the night for Belmont. Will Hornset checks back in for Hudson for Northern Iowa. Lundblade and Pierre back in for Belmont.
Yeah, just that little stretch about 4 or 5 minutes ago, Steve, where Northern Iowa started pursuing offensive rebounds with a little bit more energy, a little bit more purpose as Witt gets the roll. Got them going, the 1 cross-court 3 to Schmidt. And even though Hudson didn't finish, his physicality really kind of changed some of the narrative. And then obviously you got the 2 straight Weisbrod makes.
Northern Iowa already with 7 offensive rebounds in the game. Hornseth looking down low, too far and out of the reach of Anderson.
Yeah, just needed to reverse it. That was a tough passing angle on that high-low.
Pierre with a hot start to this game. That one off the mark. Under 4 minutes for the first half. Schweiger along the baseline. Muscles it up and in.
Great reverse pivot by Schweiger. Looked like he was going to pass it out. Gave up the baseline and scored. He's had some crafty scores during this recent stretch.
Peebles tries to push it. Got into the lane. Found some space. And the shot was pure.
That's been Belmont's best action, is the wing ball screen, getting Witt and Peebles into the lane and either having a nice 8-footer or a drop-off to Rogers.
Belmont shooting 59%. Northern Iowa has made 5 of its last 7, up to 46% now here in the first half.
Yeah, these are 2 of the nation's top effective field goal percentage teams.
Schweiger short on the 3. Peebles, Euro step, and the reverse finish.
Wow, that is impressive. Getting all the way to the rim before the weak side can come. And we've seen it, Steve Lehman, that Brody Peebles can score in bunches.
Weisbrod. Anderson walked. Peebles with 9 points off the bench for Belmont here in the first half. And the Bruins maintaining that lead. Up 11 over Tytan Anderson in Northern Iowa.
Hey Belmont fans, John Browning with ProCare here, your textile and hard surface cleaning experts. Thank you so much for watching Belmont men's basketball. Just a reminder, during this commercial break, that our mission at ProCare is to provide you with the most outstanding service experience ever. Our services include carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, oriental and area rug cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, and finally, fiber protector to safeguard your fine furniture and rugs. And if you ever have an emergency spot, spill, or pet accident, Give us a call and we will get to you ASAP. ProCare is a private, locally owned and operated company that's been serving Middle Tennessee since 1995. For more information, visit us online today at procareofnashville.com.
Call ProCare. Here we go.
More than transportation. Railline of Tennessee.
Before halftime, Belmont leading Northern Iowa 42-31. This big Valley game. Both these teams still very much in the title hunt. Looking up at Drake in the standings. Coming up at halftime, going to be a really unique situation here and a fun halftime ceremony inside the Curb Event Center as Belmont will retire the uniform of Ian Clark. NBA champion, one of the best players, one of the best shooters in the history of the program at the half, and we will bring that to you here right on ESPN+. Belmont ball out of the timeout. Lundblade, difficult shot off the handoff, and it goes begging. Schweiger's played a good half, but that pass intercepted by Walker. Up ahead to Lundblade. Had it taken away from behind by Anderson, but it will stay Belmont basketball.
Anderson, among his many qualities, Steve, is he just does not give up on a play. He is a tremendous hustler, trail transition defender, steals, blocks, and he just never gives up on it. Great strip of Lundblade.
Look at the ground he made up there.
Yes.
I believe they call that a high motor, Greg.
Yes. He would probably be a great track athlete.
15 on the shot clock. Peebles on the handoff. He's had a great first half. Had that shot blocked out of bounds by Campbell. Now 9 seconds on the shot clock.
You can see how they're coming back to that Rogers ball screen action, both for Witt and Peebles, and just trying to get a little bit of an angle on Campbell, but great defense there at the rim.
Rogers underneath, end of the shot clock. Nearly threw it away, but it went out of bounds off the back of Weisbrod. So now Belmont will have to go real quick here with 1.9 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought Rogers was going to power up there on Hornseth, especially given the shot clock violation situation.
Peebles, one dribble, fires, air ball, and that is a shot clock violation. Great defensive possession by Northern Iowa. Started with the hustle play by Anderson.
It did. After you had the steal with Walker, just to poke away, and then it was able to settle the defense.
Belmont has led the entire way, but Northern Iowa with a chance to get it to single digits before halftime. Double team at Anderson. Skip pass to Weisbrod. He's knocked down two, make it three triples in the first half for Max Weisbrod.
That's just a great pass cross court. Gets the double team. Such a difficult pass.
Peebles, pull up, and he rains it down.
Speaking of difficulty, what a tough mid-range shot by Peebles. The defense was there.
Fifth straight double-digit game for Brody Peebles, who last year at Liberty averaged 20 points per 40 minutes in a reserve role. 10-point game, final 70 seconds of the first half. Campbell off the bounce, his pull-up, no.
2 for 1 time if you're Belmont.
Backdoor, Walker couldn't hang on to it.
That is such a tough delivery. And I know Belmont has these automatic back doors to both Pierre and Walker along the baseline, but so well defended. I mean, look at Campbell. There's just no room for that to get completed. Now Northern Iowa has 2-for-1 chance.
20-second differential here between the game clock and shot clock. Campbell, push off, got away with it, missed the jumper, and look at Lundblad go up and get the rebound. Now he's tackled from behind. Oh, they call that a jump ball, though.
Wow, it looked like Hornseth. Difficult, we'll have to see a replay there. I guess Northern Iowa has the arrow, but Lundblad had the clear rebound, and Hornseth, to his credit, tried to stay in there. It's a lot of Hornseth's arm, but Darren George deemed it to be a tie ball.
He did have his arm on the ball. My only question is, did he fall on Lundblad's leg?
Right. Good hustle, though, by Hornseth to keep the play alive.
So Northern Iowa retains possession here. Now a 21-second differential. Weisbrod to Hornseth, over to Anderson. Great passing. And the dunk for Tytan Anderson, who has 9 here in the first half. Shot clock is off, so Belmont will be able to hold for the final shot. Bruins led by as many as 19 points here in the first half, but Northern Iowa's come back. Witt throws it away. Hornseth in transition, had it knocked out of bounds, but they call a foul on Rogers, and it'll be 2 shots for Will Hornseth here right before the buzzer, as a great steal by Hornseth, and Rogers got him on the arm.
Yeah, just uncharacteristic. It looked like Belmont didn't know what the set was. To wing entry to Walker, high post entry to Rogers. Great overplay by Hornseth to get the steal.
And that is the second foul on Rogers just before halftime, as Hornseth bangs home the first free throw. So one of your bigs picks up a second foul in the final few seconds of the first half. And now all of a sudden, this could be a 6-point game here at the break if Hornseth's able to knock down the second. The freshman's given Ben Jacobson some good minutes here in the first half. Second one short. Walker to the rebound. Witt from half court. Oh, and it's off the front iron. It looked good out of his hand. And Belmont will take a 7-point lead into halftime. A great finish by Northern Iowa. The Panthers back 40 points in the paint in the first meeting back on New Year's night. That's something you got to imagine Coach Jacobson and the Panthers will try to establish here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Hudson, Anderson, and Hornseth. They were plus 18 the first meeting.
It's Belmont ball to start the second half here at home. Big matchup in the Missouri Valley Conference, with the Panthers a game back of league-leading Drake. Belmont 2 games back of that. Both these teams pretty secure in the top 4 spots for a first-round bye at Arch Madness, which is all important because no team has ever won 4 consecutive days in St. Louis. But right now, they both still have eyes on a conference championship. First foul there on Weisbrod out of the locker room. Down to 7 to shoot. Rogers in the high post. Pierre to Witt. Tough catch in the fadeaway. And a good defensive possession by Northern Iowa to start the second half. Anderson inside, drew a foul. And once again, Tytan Anderson is headed back to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's led the Missouri Valley in free throw rate each of the last 2 years. That time, looked like he kind of got caught under the basket and there wasn't a lot there. Guess they deemed Walker fouled him. And the thing that we haven't talked about yet, Steve, 8th game of the season, starting point guard RJ Taylor gets hurt against UIC. Moving Campbell to point guard has made Northern Iowa a little bit bigger, more versatile defensively, whereas Taylor was an undersized point guard. It really has helped Northern Iowa, I think, defensively have such length and just size, especially Schwieger, Anderson, Campbell, and Weisbrod.
That foul, by the way, went against Brigham Rogers.
Oh, wow.
Which is his third because he picked up the second at the end of the first half. So he goes to the bench. Second chance opportunity, but Campbell misses the three.
Wow, that is gigantic because Anderson 2 free throws, and then Campbell, who's been shooting great, missed a wide open three-pointer.
Pierre went right at Anderson. Now a chance for the Panthers to run, and Schwieger makes it a 5-point game.
Yeah, you're starting to see shot quality shifting towards Northern Iowa. In the first half, it was Belmont. In the second half, shot quality is improving for Northern Iowa.
Pierre, 2 early threes and a jumper. He's now missed 4 straight. Hudson down the lane for the jam. And it's a 3-point game as Northern Iowa scores the first 4 points here of the second half.
It's such a tough action, that pocket pass down the lane line. The weak side's got to be there to squeeze.
A little bit of some nerves in the building for the first time tonight after Belmont started so hot. Again, it was 10-1. Lundblad with the shot fake, drives inside and drew the foul.
He's gotten better at that, boy. Slow to get up as he was hammered at the rim. The concerted effort for Northern Iowa and really every Missouri Valley team to get Lundblad off the line, but he has proven willing to drive to the basket. Hudson with the foul. Maybe they got Campbell underneath.
Well, they did. Lundblad, one of the best free throw shooters in the Missouri Valley, 95% at the line. You want this guy shooting it, whether it's at the charity stripe or behind the three-point arc. Second one is good as well.
You can also, Steve, recently, Belmont has had a difficult time getting downhill. Northern Iowa starting to score, and Belmont's having to face set defense.
Anderson with Witt on him. Campbell gets another look from outside, missed, and a good block out inside by Isaiah Walker. Carter Witt, who had 10 points in the first half, also had 3 assists. One of the leading assist men in the conference. Jonathan Pierre threw that right into the arms of his head coach, which is going to force Casey Alexander to get us up.
Yeah, it's just, again, back first 10 minutes, Belmont was getting early offense in transition from its defense, and now against a set Northern Iowa defense, it's been more difficult sledding. Just, again, anticipating that Walker would stay in the corner and he cut towards the basket.
Pierre, normally very sure-handed, more than 100 assists this season as a 6'9" forward. Anderson split a couple defenders and goes up and scores over the top of Walker.
That's just impressive, but not enough of a physical double team. Anderson split it and got all the way to the rim. 20 career double-doubles for this man, who, again, he'd be the front runner for Conference Player of the Year if it wasn't for Bennett Sturtz of Drake.
Witt, hesitation, and the pull-up. That is a tough shot, very in-control move by the senior guard.
Yeah, again, just feeling Campbell on his hip. Really difficult. That's what Northern Iowa's defense does.
Witt, a former top 100 recruit, started his career at Wake Forest and 2 years at Furman. Now he finishes it here at Belmont. Campbell on the drive and a left-hand finish off the glass. Trey Campbell has really elevated his offensive game this season. Only had 1 3 in the first half, now has 5 for the night. Witt with the pull-up and got the roll.
And a push
we're
on
going to have a
Hudson.
foul on Hudson underneath.
Interesting, you get that chance for a 4 or 5 point possession. Carter Witt, again, the way that Northern Iowa guards ball screens, they go under. Hudson kind of crashed into Rogers and backpedaling for the box out.
So Belmont already with 2 on this possession. Witt, look off to Rogers. Good touch by the big fella, and it's back to a 7-point game.
That was a huge swing for Belmont to get 2 scores from Witt. First the pull-up and then the assist to Rogers.
So a 4-point possession for Belmont. Hudson inside, has the size advantage, missed it, but followed it up.
Yeah, you're seeing a concerted effort now to just cram it into Anderson and Hudson. That's 3 straight points right at the rim for Northern Iowa.
Panthers have made 4 of their last 5 shots.
Weisbrod really doing yeoman's work here, staying with Lundblade.
Schweiger's been all over Witt. 4 to shoot. Walker gonna have to hurry. Got inside, threw it up wildly, and here comes the Panthers the other way. Anderson created some space, laid it in. He's got 13, and once again, it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, it's just momentum swings. If you get the defensive stops, it's going to help your offense be more efficient.
Everything has been much more difficult on this end of the floor for Belmont since that torrid start. Rogers drives on Hudson, can't get it to go, but picks up the foul. And that will be number 2 here, both of them coming in the second half on the Northern Iowa big man. 14:38 to play. Belmont clinging to a 3-point lead on top of Northern Iowa, 52-49.
Let's go again. Oh. Again. Don't look at the log. Look at where you want to go.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,
I got this.
You're unstoppable.
Here's where I want to go. Great, let's get started.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
It begins here as the Missouri Valley Conference conducts its 35th Men's Basketball Championship in downtown St. Louis. Stay with your team at its assigned hotel and experience Arch Madness at Enterprise Center as 12 Valley schools look to capture the league's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Conveniently located near attractions like the Gateway Arch, City Museum, and Ballpark Village, site of the MVC Fan Hangout, team properties plus the Arch Madness Tournament headquarters at Union Station offer Valley rates to fans wishing to follow their schools all the way to the MVC Championship ground. Start planning your Arch Madness experience or your next trip to St. Louis by calling 1-800-916-0041 or visiting ExploreSt.Louis.com.
Since 1991, St. Louis has served as the gateway to the best men's basketball tournament, Arch Madness. Experience buzzer beaters, madness, and Missouri Valley Conference glory. And it begins here. The 2025 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament, presented by Credit Union 1 and Great Southern Bank, tips off March 6th through the 9th. Celebrate 35 years of Arch Madness. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
The Arch Madness app, presented by Great Southern Bank, is the official app of the 2025 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. Get information you need to plan your trip to St. Louis, including the tournament schedule, tickets, and special events. Download the Arch Madness app tonight. Back in Nashville, where Belmont leads Northern Iowa 52-49, the Panthers have started the second half exceptionally well from the floor, shooting 67%. And already have 12 points in the paint in the second half. It'll be Brigham Rogers at the line for Belmont, out of the timeout, shooting 2 after the foul on Hudson. And a few groans from the crowd here as Belmont has had some empty possessions here after building up what was a 19-point lead in the first half. Rogers goes 0 for 2 at the line. First look at zone tonight. It appears on this possession for Belmont. Anderson at the foul line. Got a little bit closer, forced it up there, and now a foul. And if that's on Rogers, that's number 4.
That's a difficult call. I think a lot of teams in the Missouri Valley kind of are chagrined. Rogers was a little bit off balance, but Anderson always is leaning into you, initiating the contact, putting the onus on the official. In their 12 Missouri Valley victories, Northern Iowa has taken 66 more free throws than the opposition. So 14-17 to go, and no Rogers for the Bruins.
Anderson 1 of 2. Northern Iowa now 4 of 12 at the line tonight. So they've gotten there. They just haven't converted enough of them. But it's back to a 2-point game. Pierre back into the game. He got a tongue lashing from Casey Alexander in that timeout. Isaiah Walker misses the 3. And Anderson grabs the rebound. Panthers with a chance to run. Anderson down low, shot fake, and he lost it. Dribbled it off his foot. Peebles from the corner knocks down a huge triple for Belmont.
That was a gigantic sequence. Anderson right in the restricted area, dribbled it off of his foot. Then Peebles has had a gigantic game. Great pinpoint pass by Witt in transition. You see how Belmont they move so beautifully in early offense.
Good pass inside, and Anderson once again gets 2 more. He's already got 7 here in the second half. 16 for the game.
It'd be interesting to get Pierre the ball with Hudson on him.
Another look for Walker. He drives, lot of contact, and it goes.
That's a difficult call. I'd have to see the replay on that one. It looked like Northern Iowa. Schweiger from the weak side. It's a bang-bang play. I don't know if he was set. He certainly was square and didn't reach. Really tough call there. Could have gone either way, and Walker finishes for a potential 3-point play.
Well, Casey Alexander didn't like the foul call on Rogers a moment ago. Now it's Ben Jacobson's turn to yell at Robert Felder, because he certainly did not like that call on Schweiger.
Yeah, Jacobson telling Robert Felder that he was there the whole time. We saw in the replay he came great from the weak side. He was not set, but he certainly didn't reach, didn't grab, didn't hit Walker on the arm. That was the epitome of a call that could have gone either way.
Walker converts the 3-point play, so the Belmont lead is back up to 6. Anderson to Hudson. Spins baseline and had it poked away by Pierre.
Yeah, again, Pierre not going to be able to stand up with the size and the strength of Hudson on the block, so tried to just poke it free on the spin.
It was an issue with Rogers in there, and now you don't even have that with Rogers on the bench with 4 fouls. Anderson through the double team. Look at the ball movement from the Panthers. Schweiger driving inside and finishes with the right hand.
Great ball reversal, and then Schweiger, no hesitation.
Walker cut off along the baseline. Pierre step back on Hudson, left it short. And the long rebound caroms into the arms of Hudson.
Just such aggressive pursuit of the basketball by Northern Iowa.
Good look for Campbell from the corner. Won't go. Offensive rebound for Anderson. And a second chance opportunity. Second chance for Campbell. And that one will drop.
Credit Anderson, just coming up with the initial offensive rebound. That hurt Belmont the start of the second half of the first meeting in Iowa.
It's now 10 offensive rebounds for the Panthers. Anderson cleans up that rebound.
Well, that's 2 straight wide open misses for Pierre. And the tide has swung a little bit where Northern Iowa is getting the momentum threes and Belmont is not. I think Belmont's one of its last 7.
Pierre's now missed his last 6 shots after starting 3 for 3. Campbell again off the mark, and that rebound finally secured by Aiden Noyes.
Yeah, with this lineup with no Witt, where's the offense come from?
Peebles in some trouble, and he threw it away. 7th turnover of the night by Belmont brings us to a media timeout. Northern Iowa with momentum here on the road, shooting 64% in the second half, and back within 1 at Belmont.
We are trying really hard to get you Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but there is only so much we can do here. You're gonna have to meet us halfway. Well, the whole way, actually.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on sparkling waters in tastes you'll love. Made with natural flavors in fantastic combinations. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
BK melts. Wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy, so you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
From Pixar comes an all-new original series.
Everyone is chasing the feeling of a win.
Hey, Lori, you're famous.
But if someone wins,
You're not funny.
somebody has to lose.
What did I just do?
One story.
Hey, Lori!
No matter what happens, you are all winners. Told from 8 sides.
We'll make it work.
We always do.
Better not blow it.
Disney Pixar's Win or Lose. Now available only on Disney+.
Tonight's game's presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Back in Nashville, beautiful Belmont University, where the Bruins have a 1-point lead over Northern Iowa here in the second half, but it has been the Panthers who have all but erased a 19-point first half deficit.
Yeah, second chance points, points in the paint, really establishing Anderson this half, Steve. Great ball reversal, kind of had Belmont on a string in the half court. And while Northern Iowa's 11th in the conference in offensive rebounding, that's not been the case today.
Anderson from the low block gives Northern Iowa its first lead of the night.
It's just a tough matchup for the Bruins. If he catches it and there's not a second man there, it's just going to be a basket.
It's a 7-0 run by the Panthers. Witt, who had a good first half, has to go at the end of the shot clock. Walker gonna have to hurry. 1 to shoot, forces it up, and a shot clock violation.
Just great, almost like a 4-on-4 shell drill in practice. Northern Iowa moving its feet, showing its chest, not reaching. Just really, really good stuff. Belmont's got to cut and screen better to free up in the half court, or they've got to create more turnovers on this end of the floor.
Ben Jacobson has done an exceptional job with this team. Backdoor pass, looks like it was kicked. So you put 20 back on the shot clock for UNI. His program is so much about consistency and building guys up, and he lost 7 guys in the portal last year, including his 2 leading scorers. As Czarnowski actually stepped on that ball, but he was able to keep important guys like Tytan Anderson and Jacob Hudson, Trey Campbell, and then added some really nice pieces, and they're playing well. Campbell from the wing. He has struggled so far tonight, just 2 of 8 from downtown. Belmont trying to get the lead back. Lundblade from the wing, and he knocks it down.
Such a tough shot. He twirled into that on the sideline, squared in midair. It's like a design call on a secondary break.
Northern Iowa has done a good job on him tonight, but Lundblade into double figures with 10 after his second three. Anderson spins back, kicks to the corner for Campbell. Now Schweiger for three. Short. Who can get the rebound? Lundblade has it. Walker up ahead. One-on-one with Weisbrod. No, but Jonathan Pierre, yes.
Got to sprint back if you're Belmont.
63-59, Anderson to Hudson, who missed the layup. Got it back, score, no, tipped up and in by Schweiger, and a timeout taken by Northern Iowa.
Yeah, the home crowd wanted offensive interference on that tip-in.
We'll see if we get a look.
You just sensed after Pierre's tip jam that Northern Iowa was going to go on an odd man rush. Hudson missed several right at the rim. This one goes long, and then Schweiger, it looks like it came off. Tough to tell if it was still hovering over the front rim, but good stick-to-itiveness by Northern Iowa.
We are trying really hard to get you Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but there is only so much we can do here. You're gonna have to meet us halfway. Well, the whole way, actually.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
From Pixar comes an all-new original series.
Everyone is chasing the feeling of a win.
Hey, Lori, you're famous.
But if someone wins,
You're not funny.
somebody has to lose. What did I just do?
One story.
No matter what happens, you are all winners.
Told from 8 sides.
We'll make it work.
We always do.
Better not blow it.
Disney Pixar's Win or Lose. Now available only on Disney+.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
Tonight's game is presented by Gray Line Tennessee, your one stop for transportation in Tennessee. Belmont basketball season tickets are on sale now. Packages are just $199 per seat and include all men's and women's games along with other exclusive season ticket holder benefits. Head to BelmontBruins.com or text 615-460-BALL for more information. Well, those guys are having a good time here tonight. We got a great game. Essentially half of the games in this league this year have come down to 6 points or overtime. These two teams played to exactly 6 points in Cedar Falls back on New Year's night. A Panthers victory. Belmont trying to turn the tide with a 2-point lead here under 9 minutes on their home floor. Backdoor, Pierre underneath for the jam.
Good design call by Casey Alexander. Slipped a wing screen. Charnowski, an excellent passer from the high post.
How many times have you seen a Casey Alexander after timeout play turn into a bucket? Good look down low. Charnowski saves it in bounds, but they said he stepped out of bounds before he was able to knock it off of Hudson.
Yeah, difficult high-low entry. Again, you see the length and really the force of Charnowski in that post denial.
Campbell along the baseline. Good job by Charnowski to switch on it. Gets inside and threw it away. Good defense by Belmont. They can run with numbers. Walker ahead. Missed the layup, but a foul by Hudson.
Again, live ball turnover. Belmont's not going to mess around. Pierre had options. Lundblade on the left wing. Walker rim running. Just couldn't get the layup to go around Hudson. Clear foul and just dips off 2 free throws. And Belmont will be shooting the last 8:22.
That was the 3rd foul on Jacob Hudson. First real sniff of foul trouble for the Panthers here tonight.
You just see the dimension that Sharnowski adds to Belmont, Steve. That time on a switch dealing with Campbell. His hands, his length created that turnover.
So Hudson still out there with 3. Brigham Rogers on the bench at the moment for Belmont with 4. Walker, who has really improved his free throw stroke over his 4 years at Belmont, knocks them both down, and the lead is back up to 6.
This is where you'd think it would be a Schweiger-Anderson touch.
Schweiger on the curl, rebound, tap to the floor, picked up by guess who? Tytan Anderson. Now Campbell for 3, that missed, and Witt comes away with the rebound. Lundblade, as the trailer had his shot blocked, the Belmont bench wants a foul, and the foul comes underneath against Belmont.
What a great job by Witt to fan dribble and shovel it over to Lundblade. A lot of contact. That's the 2nd time he's had a 3-pointer block tonight.
Take another look. It was a interesting opportunity in transition, but Trey Campbell with the block for Northern Iowa. It's a 6-point game here in Nashville at the under.
To get the right car, you gotta drive Riker. Drive Riker, drive. To get the right car, you gotta drive Riker. Drive Riker, drive. For a car you want and a truck you need, you got to drive Riker. Riker all the time.
We're dealing.
Drive Riker, drive.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
From Pixar comes an all-new original series.
Everyone is chasing the feeling of a win.
Hey, Lori, you're famous.
But if someone wins,
You're not funny.
somebody has to lose. What did I just do?
One story.
No matter what happens, you are all winners.
Told from 8 sides.
We'll make it work.
We always do.
Better not blow it.
Disney Pixar's Win or Lose. Now available only on Disney+.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Four Nations Face Off on ESPN and ABC.
Tickets to the 2025 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament are on sale now. Mark your calendars for March 6th through the 9th for Arch Madness. Reserve your seat in St. Louis. Visit archmadness.com and click on tickets. Get your tickets and experience Arch Madness. Both of these two teams have high hopes for what could be in St. Louis, trying to lock up seeding. Also still fighting for a regular season conference championship. Drake with a game in control tonight. Bradley currently losing at Illinois State. Both these teams trying to keep pace. Northern Iowa with the ball down 6 on the road. Good hands by Walker and the steal by the Belmont junior.
Yeah, that's what Belmont needs. On a switch, trying to post up Anderson, just telegraph the pass, and Walker opportunistic.
Third steal of the night for Isaiah Walker. Pierre back down, double team comes. Can't finish through it, but he will go to the line.
Boy, just pirouetting on the baseline. Anderson was in good position. I almost thought he was going to have to kick it out to Charnowski and reset, but just found a little bit of an angle. Clear reach by Anderson and a near and one.
First foul on Tytan Anderson.
Those are two
rims
very,
out the first one.
Very physical, very versatile forwards.
Pierre with a couple of dunks here in the second half, but after a couple of early threes and a jumper, his stroke has really dried up. 0 for 2 at the line on that trip. And now Belmont just 6 of 11 at the stripe tonight. Both these teams have struggled at the line. Hudson. Skip pass to Weisbrod in the corner. 5 to shoot. Weisbrod again, and he rains down the three. 4th three of the night for Max Weisbrod, a 39% shooter who's making his 7th straight start here tonight, and he's in double figures with a dozen.
That was another big momentum play. Pierre's free throws, and then Weisbrod.
Lundblad tries to answer. That one was short.
Tough shot, really difficult shot. And good patience by Northern Iowa last possession to reverse it to Weisbrod.
Anderson back again, had it poked away by Pierre. Steal by Belmont. Witt trying to attack. Good look for Pierre. Off the mark. And Campbell has the rebound.
Boy, great find by Witt, but as you alluded to, Pierre just can't find his stroke right now.
Campbell, hesitation move, and it's a 1-point game.
Boy, just gigantic momentum swings right now.
Belmont got it back up to 6, but has now gone more than 2 minutes without a point. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Lob. Charnowski with the good catch. Had it poked away. Campbell thought it was clean, but the foul against Northern Iowa.
Yeah, Witt's so good at stringing that dribble and then timing the pass to when the big man is off balance. That time, knew he had an angle to get it to Charnowski up over the top of Hudson. Campbell thought he had to scrape down low.
That is the 3rd foul on Trey Campbell here with 5:42 to go. Charnowski, who has struggled at the line this year, just 62%.
It's interesting, Steve. Casey Alexander actually spent quite a bit of time yesterday at practice talking about free throw shooting, consistency of routine, and boy, 2 misses from Pierre, 2 misses from Charnowski.
And 2 before that from Rogers. It's 6 straight misses at the line for Belmont. Anderson inside, creates some space, had it blocked from behind. It'll stay Northern Iowa ball with 12 to shoot.
It's been a long stretch with Hudson. Haven't seen Hornseth much at all this half. Both teams kind of running with their frontline players.
Hudson has been dominant on the glass here, he and Campbell. Northern Iowa with a chance to take the lead. Weisbrod with a deep 3, missed it, but Hudson there for another offensive rebound, his 6th of the night. Somehow he got it back, finds Schweiger for the 2-hand jam, and Northern Iowa's in front.
Yep, just Hudson keeping every offensive rebound alive, some of that having to do with the switches.
Pierre, trailer 3, rimmed out. Schweiger's there for the rebound. Northern Iowa with a 7-0 run to move in front. Ball taken away. Witt right at Hudson, and he scores.
Boy, great finish by Witt up over Hudson in transition. He was there, but that's the second or third time Belmont's gotten a deflection on a post entry.
That ended a nearly 4-minute scoring drought. Now the crowd trying to implore Belmont into a stop. Weisbrod into the lane. And a foul on Jonathan Pierre.
Yeah, Weisbrod looked a little bit off balance as he attacked the lane. Did a good job of stringing the dribble, keeping Pierre on his hip, and then earning the foul.
Second foul on Pierre, the fourth team foul on Belmont here in the second half. Hudson underneath, and he's fouled on the catch.
And Northern Iowa, as does Belmont, runs some great baseline out of bounds actions, multiple actions that time, ultimately to get Hudson at the doorstep. Sometimes it's difficult to complete those passes, but Campbell did well, passing entry around Rogers. And I think that might be all for Rogers.
That is the fifth foul on Brigham Rogers. He fouled out in the first meeting in Cedar Falls. He fouls out again here tonight. Rogers finishes the night with 6 points and 3 rebounds. Hudson missed on the second, but another offensive rebound for Northern Iowa. Anderson with Lundblade on him, 5 to shoot, turns the corner, goes inside and scores. Tytan Anderson with 20 points. Pass kicked. Anderson tried to save it, but can't, so it will stay Belmont basketball. 3:29 to play here in Nashville. Ben Jacobson all the way out past the midcourt stripe, imploring his team. Jacob Hudson to Ben Schweiger, soaring high, and now the Panthers are in front.
You've got to order MapGo. A quick munch delivered in minutes. Food options that are fast and easy. Convenient in-store pickup or delivery. MapGo has the snacks you want. Order on the MapGo app. Order drinks. Order snacks. Order ice cream. All at MapGo and available on DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub.
Are you joking? You're joking. Tell me you're joking.
It's a little early for jokes, but here goes. This muffin goes on vacation. What's happening? You said joking 3 times. That's why I'm here. Anyway, this muffin.
Well, I was just excited about my new car.
New car? Oh, you don't need a joke. You need a Jake. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent can help you choose the coverage you need.
All right, I got a show, so. You forgot your toothbrush, Jimmy Fallon.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Arch Madness tips off March 6th through the 9th in St. Louis, and the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is back. The MVC Fan Hangout is the place to celebrate before and after all games at Enterprise Center. Featuring restaurants, entertainment, and everything Arch Madness, the fun starts 2 hours before the first game each day of the tournament at host locations Valley Sports Live and Sports and Social. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangout. We'll see you there.
Cades Cove upcoming schedules. Smokehouse quality, ready in minutes. Find Cades Cove Barbecue in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store. Northern Iowa trying to hold on to this 2-point lead before a huge game Sunday back home against rival Drake. They also will play Bradley in the regular season finale, so the Panthers get all the teams at the top. Belmont with a homecoming game Saturday against Indiana State. Then a trip to Missouri State before wrapping up the regular season finale against rival Murray State. Both these teams have been exceptional in close games so far this season. Northern Iowa 3-1 in games decided by 5 points or less. They won the first meeting against Belmont by 6. Belmont is 7-2 in games decided by 5 or less. Already down to 5 on the shot clock. It's Walker who can't get the roll.
Boy, similar roll that Schweiger got from the same spot in the first half. Great look, it just didn't go in. Looked like it was gonna fall in off of the front rim.
Belmont 7 of 21 from 3 here tonight. Weisbrod to Campbell up top with under 3 minutes to play. Campbell with the step back, and it goes. How about the guts from Trey Campbell? It hasn't been his best night shooting, but that is a big-time shot and the biggest lead of the night for the Panthers. Walker will try it again, and it's an air ball. Belmont led it by 6.
67-61.
Yep.
Yes, and then Pierre.
Just over the 7-minute mark, and since then it's been a 12-2 Northern Iowa run. Anderson with one blade on him. A show double team, got inside, tries to put it up, bothered by Sharnowski. Anderson, though, got it back and gets 2 more. Panthers have gotten a lot of the loose balls here tonight. They have been the more aggressive team as Witt drives hard at Schweiger, and he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, again, Steve, 11th in the Missouri Valley in offensive rebounds, and 18 offensive rebounds.
Northern Iowa has the last 10, make it 11 rebounds in this game. They now are plus 18 on the glass with 1:40 to go, and now a 6-point lead. Double team comes at Anderson, and a timeout taken by Ben Jacobson.
It's just been a formula of grinding back into this game. Not free-flowing like it was the first 8 minutes. Played at Northern Iowa's tempo. They finished great. And both teams have struggled at the free throw line, but Belmont's missed its last 7. And in a close game at home, you got to get that done. There, the miss by Anderson. 3 Panthers there. They just come up with a loose change. And they have just grinded this game out in the second half. Plus 18 on the boards, 43-25.
20 second chance points. 44 points in the paint, 30 of those coming here in the second half for the Panthers, who trailed by as many as 19 in the first half. But they didn't panic. This is a veteran team. Ben Jacobson certainly knows what he's doing. And they have fought their way back, and they're on the verge of a huge road win. Ten on the shot clock. Campbell still in no hurry. Working on Noyes. Spins through the lane, left-hand finish, no. And the rebound to Walker. 2-possession game. Pierre draws the foul, and now he will see if he's able to knock down a free throw.
Yeah, that was good game management. Belmont got the defensive stop, hit ahead. Pierre pump fake and drive, played the free throw game to get the clock stopped.
Belmont's last point was at the 4:28 mark. And now the free throw drought is 8 in a row. And you can just tell Jonathan Pierre's reaction sort of exasperated at what's going on right now. That one finally goes. So it's a 5-point game. Belmont still with a foul to give here with 1:11 to go. So you can be pretty aggressive, and Schweiger will take Northern Iowa's final timeout with 1:11 to play.
Really good denial on the entry by Belmont, and it got close to 5, but Schweiger called the timeout in time. You know, Rogers and Charnowski missing free throws is one thing, but if you're Belmont, Pierre, almost 80 career, and Carter Witt 73, very, very unusual. And in a close game, kind of this tractor pull of a second half against Northern Iowa, you've got to have your free throws. And so for Belmont to be 7 of 22 from behind the arc and have missed 9 free throws, that's several in the 1-and-1. That's difficult.
For sure, both teams have missed 9 free throws here tonight, but some of the Northern Iowa guys who've stepped up to the line, that's kind of where their season average has been. As you mentioned, some of the Belmont guys who have stepped up, this is a good free throw shooting team on the whole, and they have not been able to convert. But you cannot talk about this second half without talking about the rebounding effort of Northern Iowa. They have 11 of the last 12 rebounds in the game. They are now plus 17. 22nd chance points, and that is a huge reason why they now have a 5-point lead.
Yeah, the first meeting New Year's Day, it was 43-37, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that Belmont 39% from the floor, a team that shoots right around 50 for the year. Northern Iowa, we've said it all broadcast. They're 11th in Missouri in offensive rebounding. They typically just rely on their great shooting from 2 and 3. But that's been the difference in the game. It's been paint scores and then keeping possessions alive. And Schweiger a double-double. He had 12 rebounds against Evansville, but 10 here tonight.
So Belmont does have 3 timeouts left. None left for Northern Iowa. Belmont with a foul to give. The pressure in the backcourt. Campbell got it ahead to Anderson. So they break the pressure with a minute to play. And Lundblad gives the foul on Weisbrod. So that's the 6th team foul by Belmont here. The next one will put the Panthers in the 1-and-1.
Yeah, again, if you're Belmont, probably an opportunity to gamble. And you'd want to foul Hudson or Anderson.
Yep. Over to Weisbrod. He drives through the lane. There's Anderson, and a foul.
Tough because it was already down to 7 on the shot clock. It was in that really precarious spot, but Anderson's been high 60s his entire career.
Yep. Campbell 81%. Weisbrod just 2 misses and 13 attempts this year. Anderson tonight at the line, 2 of 6. But money on that one. He now has 22 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Make it 23.
Just think about that stretch middle of the second half, Steve, where Pierre had 2 or 3 really clean looks at 3 that didn't go before the free throw game.
Anderson got them both. He has had another great night. And now Belmont facing a 3-possession deficit. Pierre back inside. Walker, layup good. And a timeout by Casey Alexander with 39.9 to go.
That was a great action. 2 defenders ran out on Pierre. The dump down pass to Walker. Great recovery by Northern Iowa by Schweiger. Actually made it a difficult finish at the rim, and then the timeout. So if you're Belmont press, go for the steal. Probably have time for at least 1 trap, and then play the foul game.
Possession arrow favors Northern Iowa. Again, the Panthers have no timeouts. It's a 1-and-1 situation. So how quickly do you foul this time? They sort of played the time game the last possession to get it into the hands of Anderson. Down 5 with 40 seconds to go. Do you need to go a little bit quicker?
You do, because again, you want to be a little bit more selective with your free throw shooters. Campbell, career 79, Weisbrod 82. You're looking at Schweiger, Anderson, and Hudson are all under 70, though Anderson just calmly made 2. So probably give it a first trap, go for the jump ball, go for the steal, and then foul.
Outlet pass to Hudson, and Lundblad will foul him. They tried to make the baseball pass down the court for Hudson. They completed it.
Great
but
design.
The foul given away immediately.
Great play design. Belmont has that takeoff play as well, but interesting that you'd run a takeoff play to your 5-man. Sure hands by Hudson, and then the giveaway foul by Lundblad.
It's one of those where both coaches may be happy with what happened there. Northern Iowa breaks the pressure easily,
yes.
Gets into the front court. Belmont fouls Hudson and only has 9/10 of a second go off the clock. Hudson 67% on the season. 2 of 4, now make it 2 of 5 tonight. The rebound knocked out of bounds. They say it was last touch by Belmont, and Tytan Anderson once again right in the middle of it.
Yeah, they might look at the monitor. Noyes had inside position. But boy, and we talked about it throughout the second half, even the rebounds that Belmont secured, Northern Iowa was getting their hands on everything. Here you've got Noyes, Anderson. You know, here's a tough one because Noyes' hand is on the inside, and even if Anderson's force may have deflected it out, Noyes' hand is closer on the inside to the baseline, so really a difficult play to overturn.
Based off of that angle, I think it's going to stay Northern Iowa ball. And so your Belmont, and they do confirm it, your Belmont, you get a break there on the miss from Hudson, and has been the problem so much here in the second half, just unable to secure the rebound, so now you've got to do it all over again.
Yeah, now you've got to do it all over again, or you've got to force a 5-second call, or you've got to steal the inbounds. You know, this is a situation where, again, Steve, Northern Iowa wants to value possession, but if you did have some sort of quick hitter at the rim score, well, when in doubt, just throw it to Anderson.
Pierre didn't foul. Casey Alexander's livid about that, and now they foul Weisbrod up top. 7 seconds came off the clock.
Yeah, I think the instruction to Pierre was beggars can't be choosers. Anderson, again, career under 70. You can't wait. Get it out here 8 seconds later, and Weisbrod, a guard, very good free throw shooter, above 80.
Well, and Anderson would be the guy you would choose.
Yes, exactly.
If there's anybody on the floor, he's the guy you would want, him or Hudson probably, if you're Belmont. So kind of an inexplicable decision not to foul there by Pierre, and Casey Alexander is in his face on the Belmont bench as Weisbrod misses. So still a 5-point game here. Witt up ahead, put it up, missed it. And the rebound by Anderson with 22. Knocks down the three with 17.2 to go. And a timeout taken by Belmont. We apologize for our technical difficulties there with the audio. Anderson 1 of 2 at the line. Noyce with his first bucket of the night. And so now it's a 3-point game with 17.2 seconds left. Belmont still with the timeout remaining. It would be a 2-shot foul on any foul.
Yeah, it's another situation, Steve, where you wish that you had the arrow if you're Belmont. And you go back to that sequence where Pierre didn't foul Anderson. It wasn't just that. It was the 8 seconds that went off that was key. But it has been a little bit of inconsistent free throw shooting for both teams. We detailed Belmont missing 7 in a row this half. You've gotten some misses from Weisbrod and Anderson in the recent stretch.
Schweigert inbound. There's the baseball pass up ahead to Anderson, who goes in for the jam. The home run as he beat Noyes. So 5-point game, 15 seconds to go. Walker for 3, short. Witt will track it down, and he saved it into the bench with 7.6 to go. Tytan Anderson looked like a pretty good receiver on that one. Inbounds to Hudson, and he will go to the line here with 6.7 to go.
You know, Belmont has executed late game pretty well. It's just Walker's missed a couple threes. Witt missed a driving, it wasn't really a layup, it was a contested 4-footer. But the takeoff play really secured it for UNI. And what a big trip to Nashville, Steve.
Yeah.
Again, as we talked off the top, beat Murray State in this building on Monday.
Big win over Murray State the other night by 7. Now a 6-point lead here in the final seconds against Belmont. A chance for 2 wins in 48 hours on the Southern road trip for Northern Iowa. Ben Jacobson's team about to go to 95-12 all time when scoring 80 or more points. Witt's 3 won't go. Hudson secures Northern Iowa's 47th rebound of the game, and the Panthers erase a 19-point first half deficit and sweep the season series from Belmont. Final score.